But let me introduce you to our presenter tonight. Roxane is with the Georgia Regents Medical Center. She is the Director of Employee Health and Wellness. She received her Associates in Science and Nursing from Augusta College in 1994 and has worked as a nurse in the field since then. Roxane obtained her Bachelor of Nursing and is currently completing her Master's of Science in Employment Law. So good for you. That is really going to be neat. Roxane has been with Georgia Regents Medical Center since November 2009 and worked with University Hospital for 17 years before that. Her husband is a nurse as well and a fitness person. We'll see him later this season. And she has two grown sons, Ryan and Justin. So please, welcome Roxane.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be here with you. When Janet asked me to do this, I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can go through all of those, but please feel free to ask questions. I can't see you real well, but ask questions in the middle, catch my attention. It's not interrupting me, so we'll get started with that. And hopefully I'll do this right. Okay, we have a few objectives here. Going to discuss briefly what physical limitations are. I think most of you know what that is. Making choices, some choices I was faced with during my challenge here, working with physical limitations, lifelong challenges, and some successes I encountered. I'm used to having a little clicker, so bear with me here. So basically, a physical limitation. It is those activities that limit you from doing the everyday stuff. So for me, it was while I was working. I've been a nurse for many years, and I worked in a recovery room, and I was pushing and pulling patients, and I was starting to develop a lot of limitations. And I'll go through why, but this is what I was faced with. So it was a basic, the physical limitations. There is that component of slowing down as we get older, but I was hoping that I wasn't facing that yet at 40, so I knew it was limitations based on some physical constraints that I had. So there's that is not the brace I wore, but it looks exactly like the one I had. I was that weird kid in high school, junior high and high school, that had to wear that brace thing for 3 years. And a lot of people asked me if I was in a car accident or things of that nature, but I was diagnosed in the 5th grade with idiopathic scoliosis, so curvature of the spine. And they told my parents at the time that if I didn't have corrective measures done, I would be in a wheelchair by age 30. And so they put me in that brace for 3 years, and after wearing that for 3 years, 23 hours a day, they decided I needed to have spinal fusion because it wasn't working. I don't know if it had anything to do with me taking it off in the middle of the day and throwing it in my locker, or but they did find out that the brace does not work. I was one of the first cases that actually came out of a body cast at 6 months. Usually when they were first doing the surgery for scoliosis, they would put you in a body cast for a year. So I was the first documented case to come out in 6 months. So I had one of those body casts from here to here. Prior to my surgery, I was a very active child. I swam, I competitively swam for my school, for my church, for the state. I ran track for the state at my age group. I was a competitive diver, and I snow skied like crazy. So for me to be told I was going to have these new limitations and be fused, I was not happy about it. So anyhow, I went through life. I had this fusion. I figured it all out and got married and had children. Figured running around chasing 2 children was more than enough activity to keep me healthy and strong. But as the years went by, I discovered that I was having more and more limitations. I was having a lot more discomfort, a lot more aches and pains, and I developed a lot of arthritis throughout my spine. I'm fused basically right below the neck, all the way down. So, except for 2 little vertebrae at the bottom. So, I kind of went with it, took more Motrin, you know, just kind of ignored it and got older, got stiffer, to where I was finally, I hit a wall. I had to decide something had to be done. I was at the point that I was being told by my neurosurgeon that I would probably not be able to work in the field of nursing at bedside any longer, and that I would have to really change my lifestyle because of these limitations that were developing with my past surgeries. Well, I'm kind of stubborn. I don't know if some of you might know me, but I am hard-headed. She's laughing. And I wasn't going to take no for an answer. I knew that either I had to find some way to overcome this with an exercise program. I knew I had to change my eating because I had gained weight as well, and putting extra weight on my hips were causing me a lot of discomfort. And the alternative was do nothing. Well, that was not an option for me. I wasn't going to end up sitting at home, you know, figuring out that I couldn't do anything, having everyone have to start doing things for me. So I had to start finding a way to work through this. So I spoke about going to my neurosurgeon. I also went to my family physician, who recommended a physical therapist to me, who was really my godsend. He really told me that he could help me work through this, and that I needed to start moving again, and that the decrease in muscle strength that I had from not working out and keeping the muscles strong around my back were the reasons why I was having so much discomfort. And I told him I can't bend in my back, it hurts too much, I can't do it. I gave him every excuse possible why I couldn't start a new exercise program. I knew it was going to hurt. I didn't want to hurt like that. But he convinced me I needed to go out and find something. Well, I went to what was then Health Central, that is now the Downtown Family Y. They're wonderful. Same people, a lot of the same people there. But I worked with them, and I worked with a physical therapist, and we actually found a program that would work, that met the criteria that I needed for my new exercise regime. And it was body pump. It was low weights, high repetition. So I was able to adjust the weights to get moving, so I wouldn't hurt or re-injure or do anything to harm myself. Now, I will tell you that was the turning point in my life, doing this exercise program, having people that were willing to help me, stand by me, support me when I was really having a difficult time getting going, and convincing me that I could do it. I was one of those people that I knew I used to be very active, but I had gotten so sedentary in my life that I felt like I just kept saying I couldn't do it. I can't do this. My back gives me these limitations. Oh, my hips are killing me. My knees are killing me. But through exercise, changing my nutrition, and having a support system, I was able to work through this. And actually, over a 10-month period, I had lost 85 pounds with this program. Now, I feel like I'm in Weight Watchers. I knew I had to lose weight. Thank you, though, for that. I knew I had to lose weight, but that was really not the intention of my program. I knew I had to make a lifestyle change, and that's really my focus tonight here, is a lifestyle change. We can commit to exercising to lose 20 pounds and then go on about our lives the way we were doing it before. Or we can commit to, doing this because we're going on vacation or needing to fit in, one of our children are getting married and we need to fit in that nice new dress or what have you, or the tux. I don't want to leave the men out. But, if we revert back to the old way and really don't see this new lifestyle change, we'll just keep repeating the same thing over and over again. And so I can't say that it's been a walk in the park. I've gone up and down. My activity level goes up and down, as Janet was speaking about, that I'm currently completing a master's program, so I'm more sedentary now. having to study all the time. I'm doing it online. But I know the successes I had with getting moving, getting exercising, making nutrition changes. I know how it makes me feel, so I stay committed to keep moving. One of the things I've said, you know, I think probably the last 5 years is that I refuse at the end of my journey to be rolled over to home plate, you know, in a wheelchair, or to just barely walk across the home plate at the end of the day. I'm going to be the woman to slide across home base, you know, giving it all the way to the end. And I think having that picture in my mind and knowing that that's how I want to end up, and I know there's challenges in life that we face, but that's what I'm committed to. I know that it will keep me going through the long haul. I love Maxine, I can't help her. So I had to add this in. I was trying to look, I had come across one slide with her sliding into home base and I could not find it. So, but what questions do you have? I know some of you are starting new exercise programs or having challenges getting started or trying to add to your activities. Is anyone having problems with that? No?
I have a question. How was your husband help? I mean, was he in fit, in shape? Did he help you, or was he like on your own? How did that work?
Yeah. Well, my husband, he's a very fit man. He's been very exercise oriented his entire life, and he is a tremendous coach for everyone but me. Because I guess I feel comfortable enough to tell him off. And so, so it doesn't really work well for me. And so the more he gets motivated, the less I get motivated sometimes. He is actually a triathlete. He trains people to do their first triathlons, and that's something he'll speak to you about. He actually helped me with a wellness group some years ago to start a couch potato to your first triathlon, and we had 60 some odd individuals participate who had never done anything like that ever in their life and had the most tremendous stories to talk about, and I'm hoping he will share that. But in your question, he motivates me in not the traditional ways. How's that? Any other questions? Okay, I've added a tool here. It's from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. It's not the exact evaluation that the physical therapist had given me, but it's very, very similar. And what it is a, let me see. She said she had it on here. Well, we'll just go through it. You've got the handout. But it's a self-evaluation, and it's meant to be done with some time being devoted to it, not just rush through the questions and answer them as fast as you can. It's meant to really think about how you feel. What kind of, are you giving yourself positive self-talk? Are you giving yourself negative self-talk? I'm notorious for that, you know, when I feel kind of overwhelmed with life and stress and so forth, and I feel like I can't do that. I hear those words, I can't, come out of my mouth. Well, it's really important for us to, you know, take note of that and realize that we need to change that around and say, I can do this, I will do this. And this tool here will help you through that. It really, you have to find out what is, maybe if you haven't started an exercise program or haven't made nutrition changes, what's limiting you? What's stopping you from doing this? Is it your self-talk? Or is it how you were raised? Or you've never done it before? You don't know how to get started? There are, you know, now with the web, there are so many opportunities to look things up. Everything you ever wanted to know about is out there on the internet. And there's wonderful people like at the Y who have been just a tremendous support. I can't say it enough about what they did. They just, the personal experiences and the relationships I built through with those folks. But you have friends and neighbors that can help. The big thing is you're not alone in this. There are people that have went through this journey and continuing on through this journey. So reach out and talk with people. You would be surprised how much help and support you can get from that. Any questions? No? Yes.
How did you change your diet?
Yeah. I still, when someone said chocolate, I was like, oh my gosh. Portions. I will tell you that Weight Watchers is the one program that I do support. At being a nurse, I do think it's a wonderful, because it talks about not cutting out the things that you love, but taking control of it and looking at size and portion. I immediately, years ago, I had a dietitian give a class on portions, and she handed out these beautiful little plates and said, you know, I wanted you all to take them and use them as your plate when you eat your meals. Well, it was beautiful to look at, but the size was significantly smaller than the dinner plates that we're accustomed to. And she said, I want everything to fit on this plate that you eat and not overflowing, and only fill it once during that meal. Well, I was used to going back for seconds. If I like something, I'm going to have more of it. Well, using that plate, it's kind of tricks your mind a little bit, because you see that full plate and you think, wow, I'm getting large portions. It seems to be more satisfying. I still eat things that, you know, chocolate. I love that. I love ice cream, but it's about the portions. I think it's really about the portions. If you go and cut out everything you love, it won't last long. It won't be long term. You'll blow that out of the water in a few months and go right back to it. But instead of having 3 donuts, is maybe a half a donut, or maybe a donut, you know, but it's not 3. Ice cream, it might be a small little cup. You know, a taste of something usually will take care of it. But if you just cast it out, you're going to want it more. Any other questions? Yes, I'm sorry.
The philosophy of, like, I use the MyFitnessPal too, and I have, like, you know, my set goal calories for the day, and then exercise in, and it says, hey, you've earned these extra calories to eat. And my husband keeps telling me, just because you earn those, don't eat them, because you gotta have the difference to lose the weight. But then someone else said, no, that you should eat them because your body needs it to speed your metabolism up. And so I haven't been eating the extra ones. So my question is, should you be eating the extra ones, or should you only eat?
It's all in what you eat. Yeah. Yeah, that has been a debate of a lifetime. But basically, if you limit your calories, and this is a very general statement, so if you want more information, I'll be happy to give you more. You can ask Janet. But if you limit your calorie intake to the point that your body doesn't know when it's going to get its next meal, it will start storing everything. It will put it away and say, oh, we don't know when we're going to get anything else, and we're going to save it for, you know, till we need it. And that's why they tell you to eat every 3 to 4 hours, to always keep that going. When you're eating and you're burning those calories and you're taking in food and you're digesting, that's burning those calories. It's keeping that machine running, So if you shut it down, you slow down your metabolism, you know, and it just stores everything. So, but it is what you choose to eat. You know, you should have a protein with a carb every time. If you're very sensitive to carbs, eat more proteins. Every person is different. You know, when someone says, this diet worked great for me and this one didn't, well, we're all very different people. And when looking at that, choosing lifestyle changes rather than a quick fix will be better for you in the long run. Does that help? Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
When you did get started on the exercise, what were some of the things you got started, and how did you increase?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I did use the handicap bars in the restrooms the first week because it did hurt. There's no getting around that. I'm going to tell you that right now. But my physical therapist was very good about telling me a little bit. You know, the first time you go to exercise, if you haven't exercised for a long time, that first day you feel great. You're energetic. You're like, okay, the stretching, the pulling, you know, getting going is wonderful. It's the days afterwards that hurts. If you can catch yourself and not do too much the first few days, just start getting moving and then expand slowly, you will want to keep coming back. If you just blow it out that first day and just like go full force with all the weights or whatever you do, you will hurt so bad, and chances are you won't go back to the gym because you don't want to encounter that pain again. We had a gentleman in our class, and I'm not picking on the men, but in that class, because it's low weight, high repetition, we tend to have these very young men that will come in the class and start and load that bar up with weights. And, you know, people will politely say, I wouldn't do that. If you're not accustomed, I wouldn't do that. Oh, no, they're ready. They can do it. We don't see them for 2 weeks after that because they don't realize the amount of squats and all that they do, and bicep curls and all that. So, yeah, slow, little increases. Writing it down, journaling. Someone mentioned about journaling their food. Well, journaling your exercise program is excellent because you can see your increases. You may not realize how many gains you're making unless you see it in writing. So journal your exercise regimen as well. Any other questions?